everyone. So this is like, for me, not even maybe an hour after I just heard the news, so I'm just gonna... There's another one of those, oh my god, quick update videos, news videos or whatever regarding Grey Havens. But this one's actually interesting. There is a lot of interesting stuff to cover. Most interestingly is, like, typing in a command to go to, like, I don't know, the arcade. Oh shit, it's actually taking me to the arcade. Yeah, I don't know. So there's new commands. I mean, it's just for easy mobility around Haven and stuff. The interesting thing for me is actually over here. I'll pull this up first, because pendants actually had a game balance, or a balance change. Think about that. Spiral Knights, if you play TF2, is in a very similar situation to TF2, where they just kind of get seasonal updates or seasonal content or whatever, or just re-released content. Either way, you get my point. Spiral Knights is in an interesting state of limbo where it's just kind of under maintenance mode, but TF2 even then has been getting a lot of updates as of recent regarding like fixes and balancings to the game, and that also has been the case here. But unlike TF2, Spiral Knights has actually gotten like a couple proper balance changes. The first and like most obvious, or like first and most obvious one, and also probably most important depending on whether or depending on the type of trinkets you use, is for Pentaheart pendants, and actually all pendants, heart pendants, if I can type. Yeah, so all pendants have had a nerf. This is actually very like this is a both minor change, but also very big on how it impacts gameplay, because that's literally just straight up less HP now. It makes these a little less valuable, and interesting thing to notice, unlike other trinkets, this year's vanity, but the 0-star up to 4-star thing, so now, you know, you get 1 health bonus for that, 2 gets 2, 3 gets 3, 4, 5, you know, they actually match up with their numbers now. And I assume obviously it's for balancing reasons, because HP is still an incredibly powerful stat. They didn't do anything to armor to compensate for this, but, you know, hey, this is the game we play. HP was still incredibly powerful, and I think back in the day, HP was kind of like the meta stat for a little while. At least I'd say it's powerful in the sense if you want more survivability rather than maximizing your damage output. Despite all this, the True Love Locket is still 5-star and still grants plus 6 HP. Meaning, if you get one of those, quickly replace your Pentaheart pendant, because that is your new Pentaheart pendant. It's going to make the True Love Locket extremely valuable for those who are more interested in it, because like it was always more of a cosmetic thing in this case, but now it actually has a proper use case. I think they're going along the lines of having like it kind of falls in a similar line with the with like how the Treasure Mimic drops a rare trinket. So I don't know if they're trying to go in line with more something like that. That would be an interesting case, and it would definitely make farming love puppies a lot more worthwhile, rather than just, oh hey, here's something that we can just quickly use for HP and just move on with it, because that's how they've always been treated, and I've had nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's definitely an interesting balance case. There's as to why it was done, I have no idea. There's not been an official patch notes or comments regarding that, so who knows as to why this was done. Not that I think it's necessarily the worst change they made. I'm not saying it's good or bad, it's just a change overall. Another interesting case for balancing, this one's actually surprisingly minor, but it was an interesting one nonetheless in my eyes, is that, so let me see if I can find it. I probably don't have the recipe here. Oh no, I don't. So, 2-star Alchemers had an interesting change where they now, I think it was, their bullets spawn 2.9 no, sorry, 0.2 units further away from the player. I don't know if that was I think that might have been charge attack. I'll check that, but don't quote me on that. So that one I have zero idea as to why they would have done that. Is it technically a buff? I guess. I mean, it's like, these are such minor changes. I mean, the HP one's a pretty important one if you, like, focus on HP. Kind of like I do a bit, but, they're such minor changes that it's not really worth talking about, but game balance is, like, always going to be big news, and I thought, you know, out of all the more miscellaneous things, I talk about the game balance stuff, because to me, those are interesting. I want to know their thought processes behind these, and as to why they're done. Was there anything in particular that caused or that really felt like they warranted these things to be done? Because the interesting thing is with the pendants, at the very least, is that not having the +6 makes it harder to get gold HP, which is only obtainable in shadow layers, which even then is not always a guarantee to happen depending on Vita drops. But that extra 2 HP can either mean nothing, or it could mean everything, depending on armor and the situation you're in. And even for Sonic mode, you know, it could potentially do a lot. It could really not. Who knows? For that, we'll have to see game testing and, play testing to really see the effects of that and see if the balance changes for that are really noticeable or negligible at all. But yeah, that's just kind of all I really wanted to talk about. I just figured I'd quickly bring that up. I really need to work on videos again, but yeah, no, SK's got a full-fledged proper update in 5 years, I think. And again, there's a lot to talk about, but these are like the primary 2 things I was most interested in, so that's all I'm going to cover. I'm going to let other people cover other things if they really want to. And again, this was really just out of the blue. There was no patch notes, there was no official notice from the game devs. This just kind of happened. For those who are more interested in the fashion stuff, there's a lot that is coming, especially in regards to eyes and new cosmetics. But to me, that's not too interesting, and more so for the type of content I cover, that's not too important anyways. But yeah, new update. Who knows if they're going to add more stuff? I mean, there's a good possibility with what we've seen so far, at least in the Haven Discord. There's probably going to be a lot of stuff coming, so just sit back and, I guess, watch the show roll. I'll see you guys next time.